Hi. Today is a different kind of day because I'm doing CMBW. Not Indicator, not Kairos. Um, I'll be doing some much needed revisions to how corpses work, basically. Okay, so let's start with the most basic general thing, which is just corpse or it's just activity timer, right? Uh, how does this unit ID get set? Oh yeah, great. Yeah, of course. Give me SM. I hate this. Uh that's interesting. Oh, so all we do is spider days corpse. Sure. Hmm. Okay. Is active corpse. Right. And now what do we get is FinGXT. Okay. And now what do we do is we say FinGXT. So first we have to say if S corpse, right? Fingy, spine. So either if there's no Fingy spine, or the spine ID is wrong, let's say return false. Otherwise, we just return if Fingy ext activity timer is smaller than 15 seconds. Okay. Okay. So now when we have reclamation, right? So you can consume, we'll say here's it's also something I can say. So if If the sprite flag is removed after death, that's when we would say. It's not an active for corpse because this is said when corpse is flagged for deletion this frame basically. So okay, can consume corpse. We'll now say if CMBW is active corpse, then we just return false. I just do this. Can consume carbs is where you would replace this with this. Okay. And can consume carbs can be deleted now. Okay. I feel like it should also have like is any or is an active corpse, right? Probably. Okay. It's like I want to like copy paste this, but also have this like be reverse. I also internal is corpse active or something. We'll just say this ng. Here we would say ng. Return it like that. And here we would return it like this. And here we can name this curves because at this point we should know, like this function expects that this is our curves. And I have to unindent this again because Visual Studio XD. Hmm. Okay, I think this is pretty much it. And now what I would want to do ideally is I would want to I don't like this architecture, but whatever. Let's focus on actually having something. We'll just say that if Sido is an active corpse, Finji. And we'll, for now, I think we'll just remove it. Remove Finji. What is it? Finji. Sprite flags. Sprite flags. Remove after death, right? And then we will say Finji, Sprite. Ice cream animation. Ice cream animation. Death, right? And that's how you do it. From memory. Yeah. So for now, let's just remove inactive corpses immediately. We should replace this with recoloring, right? So that way, if we don't do this, then you wouldn't exactly know which corpse is inactive. And the problem is not every animation is exactly timed to like have a specific frame after 15 seconds, and even if it had, it would be nice if it was like also like distinctly differently colored so it's obvious that it's inactive. Instead of you having to essentially remember the frame. Okay. Okay, let's see what else. Yeah, I do reclamation now. Yeah, volume no carbs, but we also want. I don't know if we want no carbs. That's probably something we would not have, I assume. But reclaiming is what I need. Timer reclaiming. Timers, and it would be 2 times 24. Also means timer stun is the same amount. Right. I guess this doesn't really make sense to be aligned. Or maybe it does, whatever. And what we want is we start at 25 HP. Actually, should start doing that as more performant. And it's also like more accurate to what this is doing. Okay, one now. Something I should probably make free again, but not sure. Timer revive. Okay, we'll say if ext timers timer reclaiming, right? I think what I should do though is actually just write the timer sun as to here and not have that only be set here. Okay. I will say for now that no curbs is disabled, but we'll see if we want it. Okay, can I go where I wanted, where I was? Reclamation, right? And now unit needs to heal HP. I guess we could do HP then shields, although maybe that doesn't make much sense. Now what I would say is 256 shifted by 8, right? Times, this shifting thing reads a bit weird, but I guess maybe compiler is smart enough to recognize it, so maybe I don't do it. Visual Studio, I had it. Yeah, so let's see if the compiler optimizes that away. I mean, actually, yeah, this is definitely optimized away because this is a compile time expression. But now what we would say is 2 divided by 24, like this. Right. I don't know if Dan Shields should be here, but we'll see. I guess probably not, and if we feel like it, we'll have it. Also, I don't even know if there's a unit that would benefit. There's like Scribe, I guess. Also, what I would want to say is if this is like at a particular time like this, that's when I would spawn an overlay, I think. Say image ID, reclamation, is it reconstitution? Sorry, I don't know. It's probably like this actually, reclamation. Zorius? No, I don't know. Revive? No, I don't know what that is. Should have been the API flag probably. Hmm. Okay. Okay, should be it. Whatever. This is a U unsigned value, so whatever, not worth it. Where's the fucking thing? Where is the sprite? It's here. Okay. I hope it also does handling for the name. It puts me in a different place of the file each time I open it. Really annoying. Okay. I should update this first. Haven't done it for a while. I need to set up a build, like, I need to set up a bot script that will just do it automatically. It's really annoying. So that's for pre-release. I think I have to reset first. Okay. And now I can build.
Bring them to me. Jacked up and good to go. Outstanding.
Wait, what?
Bring them to
Not
me.
enough energy. Not enough energy.
We
Not
walk.
enough energy.
Jacked up and good to go. Bring them to me. There is no excuse. Orders. Jacked up and good Orders. To go. There is no excuse. Commander. Yes.
It feels like he heals very quickly. I'll write this. And that should work.
Where's the crowd?
Need a possum, Maverick.
Commander. Orders. Standing by. Outstanding. Rockin'.
They don't seem to be stoned very much. I'll probably need to say it like that. We might need more than 2 seconds, honestly. I don't know.
Standing by. Bring
Maybe that's fine.
Standing by. Go, go, go. Let's move.
Oh. Yeah, right. You should have changed that.
Commander. Deathless. Endless. Jacked up and good to go. Let's move. Orders. Jacked up and good to go.
Yeah,
Bring them to me.
works.
Outstanding.
Although we don't get any sound, we'll just search, play audio, play. Sound from unit, sound ID. Nazaru stick, I guess. And now if we are at 1, that's probably when I would say, and say this. We'll have the cast here and here. And we'll also set the timer stun to 1 here. Or let's just make it 0 actually. Timer stun is processed the next frame anyways.
Deathless, endless. Move. Jacked up and good to Bring go. Them to me. Good to go. Outstanding.
Oh. Yeah. That's a bad idea. I don't even know if that works.
Jacked up and good to go. Yes. Standing by. Let's move. Rock and roll.
Fine.
Let's move.
Let's say this here, okay? So if this is a timer stun like this, then all we would clear instead is invisibility. Or else this code needs to have.
Give me something to shoot. Bring them to me. We rock. Jacked up and good to go. Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Still doesn't work, so it's not worth it to set it to anything actually.
Give me something to shoot.
You cannot spawn console.
Yes. We walk, Commander. Outstanding. Let's move.
Okay. Okay. And now I think what we need is value. We need a value reclaimed. The value reclaimed. We'll set that no chord. Like instead of this, we'll just say reclaimed. Do we need no chords is the question. I'll remove it. We'll see where we have errors. And this makes sense to be this. Reclaimed. Overlay. Oh, that's silly. What? Why is that a thing? Stupid. Never stay Control Z, just did it everywhere. Anyways, I feel like no corp shouldn't have that though. I don't know. No, no corpse. Maybe you should say it like this though. Overlay. They might need different sprites anyways, and there's actually no conflict because of get overlay. Okay. Decaying overlay. That's so interesting. I decided to do that. Anyways, let's see if I can actually this line can just go. But let's see what else. I need decaying units to search for. Let's just do this. I'll say if unit ext values value. Actually, just means I need this. If this, then do that. Fine. And now what I would want to say is unit entry array. The entry array thing is so fucking slow. I mean, technically now it's by pointer, so it's not that bad, but allocating so much stuff on the thing. Although maybe it's fine. Actually, because this should be in cache. Although the most annoying thing about it is that it has to like allocate all this memory. I mean, the allocation is free, but the fact that you take so much space from the stack is not free because that might mean a cache miss or something. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Unit search radio, and let's see what the specification is. And I should also not heal if there isn't a reclaimer. Yeah, I think that just means actually that timer stun is something I will say. I will set here because that means I can just set it to 0 if I need to. Timer stun equals 3. Something I will remove now. Units, unit position. The radius is undefined, so I'll just say 10. Maybe 12 is the thing. I don't know. Say 10. I guess let's see what Mind Tyranny does. Mind Tyranny. That's 8, so let's do 8 as well. Yeah, 8. Right. And let's search filter units, unit, and we'll say filter ally. And we'll actually also tag the unit ID. So unit ID. What is it? Apostle. No. Terran Apostle. Unit ID. Terran Autocrat. Unit ID. Terran Anticaton. And unit ID. Terran Ion. And now if units that count, that's when we say well, if there aren't, that's when we say timer reclaiming equals 0. So that means we end the heal immediately. Oh, that's dumb. Probably shouldn't say that. And it's value reclaim heal active maybe, or yeah, sure. Reclaim heal active is set it to false or to true. Yeah, they still want the animation, obviously. We'll just say if .ext values value time kill active. Yeah. Okay, we'll move those. We'll say decaying. We'll move it here. Okay. Actually, instead, I will say reclaim or decay active. I don't know if there's any special things maybe on reads. Question mark. Because I could not have this if else, right? You could just make it be like this equals to exclamation this. That would mean the if statement would be here, right? But if we want anything more, then we need an even else, so that's probably fine. Save it isn't. And actually, here's already where we would say unit damage HP, and the damage is 50. It's actually 5 per second. So 5 times 256 times divided by 24. Okay. And we have no attacker, or maybe we... No, I say no attacker. Attacking player. This is -1. I don't know what that means. And will not notify. Something that makes sense to get the under attack notification if you get attacked by your decaying units. Maybe it would be unit player though, right? Oh, actually, this doesn't have to be here. I could just say bool dk active equals false, dk active equals true. And now if it's not active, that's when we say this. This can be a local because I kind of want to scope it variable. And I'll say reclamation, and here we'll say reclaiming. I feel like the decay is not fast enough though. 5 per second's not that much. But we'll see in practice. Since you don't get that much HP at the beginning, so maybe that still makes sense. So we'll see. I think this probably means this unit can probably get more range, but let's see what the documentation says. Says free range, which I think is what it currently is. Yeah, and they just slowly die. That's neat. A bit slow, but yeah, I don't know. Feel like it could be faster. That being said, you don't really get that much healing. So, you know. I feel like maybe what could be done is make the stun be longer, but get more healing, and also make DK faster, but I'm not sure. We'll see how this plays. And but oh, what's up, Faguto? This is a long list. I have a long list for reclamation, and there's also like brute spawn revisions and consuming revisions, which is for Protoss. So every corpse mechanic will be different. Right now we get healing of 5 per second is the decay, but the healing is 25 health over 2 seconds. And you're right, you can heal them, so that probably makes sense. I remember I used to think that it would be neat if you needed to like bundle up shamans or whatever with a reclaiming army. That would make it more of an actual composition instead of this broken runaway behavior, right? And so corpses also decay after, or they stop being active after 15 seconds. Currently, I removed them because otherwise you wouldn't know if a corpse is active. But I think ideally we would recolor it. We'll see. And maybe we can also do some iScript thing. I mentioned before that I think they need to be distinct enough that you can easily tell at a glance if something is active. So it's not like a memory game or whatever, or where you have to like count seconds or whatever. That would be really stupid. Okay, so that's how reclaiming works. Let's see one. Okay, so we have decay, and now what we need is we need the apostle revision. Apostle. An apostle is meant to be a toggle, actually. I need to make this list be more. Yeah, let me copy over all the video to a notepad because I can't read OBS if I'm reading Discord. Okay, you will even do three empty lines. Okay, so now I can say done, and I can also say done, I guess. Okay. Okay, it seems to work. But maybe I do it like this. Yeah, this is even better. Oh, actually, OBS has minimal, width that it has to respect. Okay, annoying. Anyways, Cas Lazarization on a toggle. So we'll see. We'll say. So annoying. Why isn't this just? So first of all, this should be 12. Okay. Let me make a utility function for this. Struct Rust command, or rather, yeah, Rust command. And what it's supposed to be is C assert size of Rust command equals 12. Which you have to say, by the way. No, I don't remember what the C assert macro did we use. Yeah, I did. But the problem I'm having is not related. It's because there's like a macro that GPTP defines and I don't know what it's named. And I hate navigating Visual Studio. It's really annoying. Let's see. Oh, it's with an underscore. Okay, so where was I? Where was that? Now you stack. Okay. So this is the macro. Okay. And now what this needs to be is ID, the brood war ID. This is command ID. This is value. The next thing is layer. So this is generic switchability anyways, but this is Rust ID, and then the rest is reserved, and this is like 7, right? I can even say Q Rust command maybe. So make it more sensible. Sure. There's issue CTF comp. That's actually not have us try. Let's make a Q generic switch. I will say value player Rust ID. Well, I don't know. You would need to. Pronago has to decide because so far I think I have commented it on, but the player is always the active player, right? And the Rust ID is what we care about. We'll say Rust ID. And then the value, right? Like this. Okay. Some much needed refactoring. Make it very small and tiny. That's something different. Here, generic switch. Or maybe this should be generic ability, honestly. It will say to go on head. Action, right? Yeah. Okay. Select target. Well, the decay is currently pretty slow rate, so no, it's 10 seconds. And they obviously wouldn't decay during the healing, but I don't know. That sounds like an interesting way of making it happen if it would be always decaying too. Makes it less complicated, which is always nice. Yeah, makes. I mean, you already have an incentive to have a healer, so I'm not really worried that this implementation is like bad or something. Okay, and now I think this is the same. This does the same thing. Q generic ability. Rust ID. And we'll just say the opposite of the action. Maybe I should even have Q toggle generic ability or something. Not sure. That's common enough. Set the F cup. Right? Yeah, that seems correct. So you'd say just Q CTF cup. I can't believe iQuirch is 12, by the way, for this command size. We still have shared as a thing. We technically do. Okay, so Q, generic ability. Cancel launch grab 1. Okay. Okay. Honestly, QCTF cup could just be inline because it's so specific. Okay. So that was some refactoring and all that, so we can do a toggle for the other thing. And I actually kind of feel like saying Q toggle generic ability. Or maybe we'll say Q toggle ability and we'll just say Rust ID. And the value will be the opposite of get Rust ID. We have like a one. It's like get generic. Is it a CMBW get generic? Get generic Rust value. Rust ID. Forces you to have. So this actually needs a unit. Okay, I think that's good enough. Don't like this. Whatever, we'll leave it as is, but so let's see where we have to go. Due to availability. Well, I don't know if the late game power units are that impactful if they are healed with like 25 HP. I don't know. Anyways, Lazarus agent will now be a toggle and it will be. And Lazarus agent will actually be toggle. Lazarus agent. Now the question is, do I need to? Yeah, I need to add it to the toggle values. What? Oh, also needs a tag ID. What is this used for? I don't know. Here I should actually just use RI. size of toggle values. And I should also insert equals abilities, right? And there's no array size, there's something else. Maybe it's the underscore version. Yeah, I kind of want to mix. Yeah, they start with plot 25 health and then they heal up to they heal 25 more over 2 seconds. Oh. Me? Hi.
You.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me on this lovely program where we absolutely smash.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Okay, so the toggle for rasterization. I don't really remember the toggle values and toggle abilities here. Also, I guess I should stream my main stream to you so you don't have delay.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But yeah, I have to see what those do.
The Lazarus agent toggle is handled through the use tech stuff, and it's accepted in game hooks. It uses the whole like Rust shit for toggles.
Well, I feel like this one should be just a cast that you cancel, like recall, right?
Well, it's permanent, right?
Oh, so it's not meant to be toggleable?
It's what I mean is it's a toggleable thing. Like you turn it on and then it goes until you have no energy or you cancel, right?
Yeah.
But recall is a one-time cast. Oh, I guess that's not true anymore, so never mind. I know what you mean now.
Anyways, I don't think that needs to be here because this is more for like. Well, honestly, I don't know what this is for because like, for some reason, Madrigal switch isn't here. I'm so confused what those variables are for.
Where was it? In button sets? That means that it's for the actual command card.
As in unit line.
Yeah, that's for the command card. So basically, it's just there to control the icons that show up. But you re-implemented the Madrigal stuff at some point, and it uses logic in some different spot.
Oh yeah, because Madrigal is now a cast because it has a channel. Right.
Yeah, and Lazarus Agent would also be... Well, right now, it's also like a... activate, and then it channels, and then... Well, it's like a single-time cast, right? So... Did you take a look at the cornerstone stuff I sent? Basically, cornerstones are is the term I'm using for like
Oh yeah,
the
okay,
traits,
yeah. I was
right?
reading that. I struggled to remember. Yeah, I think it's a neat name.
Well, I picked it because racial trait seems fine in theory, except obviously we're using Regency as the term in Xibalba, so like race is fine for
Oh yeah, you
probably
also made the
the other
mock-up.
games. Yeah, I made the
See.
mock-up.
Let me actually see it. Show it on stream.
Yeah, you can toggle off the notes to make it more instantly readable, but that's going to be like the first group on the right. So yeah, if you just toggle the first group, it'll make it more readable. I should have left it toggled off by default, but
Oh, I see. I need to install this in English, honestly. It's so annoying it's in Polish. Okay.
So
This
the
is
separator
collapsible
lines are
and
the
online.
separator lines are like the things that you see in
I
the
see.
pages.
Okay,
on the
you
website.
actually made this super like I guess generic in a way that I can like YAML this or something. So I
Well,
guess
that's
that
what
could
I
be
figured we would be doing. Yeah,
right.
is it would be an entry piggybacking off of the current system for the data files.
Yeah, I could
So
reuse the loading and whatnot.
yeah,
Could work.
I'm not sure. Like when it's collapsible, I think it should basically just show you name and tagline and icon. So that's why there's the
I assume
separator
this
line
text would
between
be a
them.
bit like I don't know. I think we already did that when we like dimmed the text.
Yeah,
a
there
bit.
it's a little bit dimmed. I didn't keep super
Yeah,
track of the
it's
coloring or
probably
whatever.
too much.
But it's like if you
Whatever.
compare it to the stuff on the screenshot of the website itself, it is a lot more dim.
Yeah. So, this also looks like bold or something. I don't know why. Anyways, yeah, this looks good. I don't know what collapsible button would we use, and I assume actually we would probably like write cornerstones here in cornerstones. Then, cool.
Yeah, we certainly could do that.
And maybe then there would be like a plus or something like here. Plus that you would click or I don't know. This looks ugly, but like you would click this and it
We
would
could do
expand.
that.
And...
I think if there's just a like a dot somewhere on the bottom middle, like bottom middle, it'll probably indicate that you can click on it, but I'm not sure.
Right, it could look like a linger, like a hyperlink or something. Anyways, this looks neat. We can reuse the icons too, which is also great.
Yep.
So,
And then when we add more for, like we can have custom stuff eventually, right? So like custom icons, which we do desperately need, to be honest. But I think this will be a great way to show what's going on with some of the races at a glance.
okay. Now we declock proc, and now we. So this is only 1 unit per second. Is that the documentation?
I only documented it in our DMs because I'm really smart. So let me scroll up. Reclaims the closest corpse within 3 range.
Okay.
So the cost of the spell will probably be like 5 or 10 or something. Or, you know, I can also drop their max energy a bit to make it so, like, if they have the significance of that is that it like takes less time for them to regenerate the energy. right? So if they only have 100 energy and each corpse is 10 energy, then they have like a maximum of 10 corpses that they can recover in a single like instance of the ability.
Yeah.
But also 100 energy takes a lot less time to regenerate than 200 energy. So I could do the same thing by like doubling the thing or whatever. So hey, it's 200 energy and each corpse is 20, but then it like takes longer for you to get back to full strength of it. So like we could use that as a balancing factor.
Yeah, I feel like the interval being longer is great because that means you actually get more benefit from using many apostles. So previously, like all you needed is to like affect everything or whatever. Like if you
Well, yeah,
recovered
the
the
fact that the
area,
range is so small now is also a considerable deciding factor, right? So
yeah, sure.
like you won't actually want, and they're slow and they're vulnerable, so you don't want them to be in the way, right? Necessarily. Actually, I guess while you're working on that, I can work on something that I, realistically speaking, should have done a long time ago, but don't worry, I'm doing it now.
Can you remind me of what Lazarus Agent cast start, tick, and end sound like? Like tick, I know what it is, but start and end. End is the bell.
No, end is the uh it's like a slightly louder version of the other one. The bell is when it actually procs to revive somebody. So you don't really need an end because now an end is just, oh, here's this thing that's over, basically. Like it's I mean, you could do it to indicate that the spell is like the channel is expired because it was canceled or ran out of energy or it died. That's probably fine, but
I'll say to do use start and end when applicable. Okay.
yeah, it's fine to leave that off for now. I can
No,
fill
this
it in
can
later
be
if
here.
necessary.
Okay, if the timer isn't here, then we decloak pro.
And I guess the toggle would only be manually cleared when it's gone or whatever.
Yeah, if you have no energy or if you click the spell again. I mean, we probably make it an explicit button, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it would become a cancel, yeah, is my thinking.
Yeah, makes sense. Is that it? No, I have to sort the corpses. There's like a unit, search, sort by distance. Yeah, I think that was it. What is this? This is for... Oh, that's the icon.
Yeah, it goes without saying we're gonna need to do a lot of silly shit for that.
Or commented for now. Surely something I should notate somewhere is then the Lazarus AI. Voodoo, right? Lazarus AI. Okay. And now what I need to do in here is corpse, search, sort by distance, corpses, unit, position. And we just break on the first corpse. I think I will only revive one unit now because of the cost.
Endless.
Oh, I also crash.
How could you?
Orders.
One. What? But how?
What'd you get?
It's just like a Rust crash.
Oh. I thought Rust couldn't crash. I thought it was too good of a language to crash. Ooh.
Your decree.
Yeah, I was watching some like talk about like CPUs and like their implication on performance, the way they're designed or whatever. And the guy said everything in that video was like neat and informational, but the guy obviously had to say that he prefers Rust. It's really sad.
Keep digging.
It's great that
So
Paladin
here.
line works. Good.
Looks pretty good.
Anyways, so let's see what happens. This is Q toggle. We'll say this. Got the value, so what's wrong? Value is 1. Um,
Endless.
and that worked.
Is no excuse.
XD?
Not a good sign when it just randomly fixes itself there in air quotes.
Bring them to me.
Now I get a different crash. Oh yeah, that should be a Finji. Oh, that shouldn't matter. Oh, but this also shouldn't matter. What?
Crops array.
Crops. Don't you like cropses? So what's wrong here? Maybe that's it. Unfortunately, Finjis don't have a position, and they have to check the sprite position instead.
Absolutely slapped.
Should I edit the tech data file, or is it better if you edit it? I don't know how much.
I can
Git
edit
will
it
fuck
now and
me.
set it to you if you
Endless.
feel like it. Yeah. Hang on a second.
Orders. Checked Endless. There's no
Not enough
excuse.
energy.
We walk.
I guess we can try 20 and 200 instead of 10 and 100. Let's see how that works out.
20 and 200.
200 max energy, 20 energy per tick,
We
yeah.
walk.
Oh yeah, sure.
Bring
It
them
should be
to
up
me.
on dev now for you.
So that means 10 units per apostle, but it also takes 10 seconds. And each unit is delayed by 2 seconds. Yeah, that sounds fair enough for a tier 2 unit.
Yeah.
I need to pull on dev. So I don't see shot anymore. Um, okay.
Deathless. Endless.
That's somewhat weird because I thought corpse arrays are supposed to. Don't have that problem. It really shouldn't be required. I wrote crops again. I have to close Visual Studio.
Bring them to me. Standing by. Yes. We walk.
It sounds like it's queue sorting the entire array instead of when I wanted it to sort. Also, it doesn't seem like. Wait, this is the dev tool, right? I pulled dev, but I don't have the new price.
New what?
The energy price doesn't seem to be new, like changed.
Well, maybe it didn't rebuild your shit. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Oh yeah, now it works.
Is no excuse. Jacked up and good to go. Orders.
It seems to be. I don't know what it. Maybe it's just the. Is it not following the unit?
Enough energy.
Death is no excuse.
Which effect?
Oh, they probably shouldn't have the overlay of the the green overlay while they're decaying, or maybe it should change color. I guess ideally. But yeah, that's cool.
Endless. Move.
And currently, you said that you're just removing it. I think I read.
Yeah.
March
I would want to recolor inactive corpses, I think.
March continues. Jacked up and good to go. Commander, give me something to shoot.
Fine. I don't yet know how to do it. I know it involves that one global that I found once. The remapping array. Okay. That works. Now what else? Game hooks. That means they probably have to do autocrat now. Did autocrat had anything? No, it still has control the position, right?
Yeah, that's going to be important for it.
You mean that the stacks will mean something?
What do you say?
Does that mean that the stacks imply something or what? Or does it just have like a one?
It doesn't have any armor pen, but it has kinetic pen. So it's basically like the more it shoots, the less armor the enemy has because of the stacks of its passive. Therefore, the more piercing it can do.
Wait, when you noted autocrat should reclaim. I'm confused. Does it mean they have free passives?
Well, kinetic penetration is like a generic ability, I guess, but yeah.
Okay, so they also additionally reclaim any.
It's like a debuff, right? So if they
Okay.
kill the target, if the target's been hit by an autocrat recently,
So if it has control the position applied to it, or is it a separate timer?
if they're the same, are they? Let me remember. I think it was 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually say so on the website, but if it's the same timer, then yeah, controlled opposition can just be the same passive. I'll add it to the description of that passive, so that it's like the same ability or whatever, so they don't have so many icons.
Yeah. It's a new unit.
Did I say 1 second after death, or how did I put that?
Is there within 2 seconds?
No, in the. Well, I guess
Automatically reclaimed on death is what it says.
Okay, that's fine. For all of the on-hits, we may consider doing something like what I proposed for Vengeful Ascension for Protoss, where the effects occur 1 second after death, because that gives opportunity for corpse consumption effects to steal the corpse. It gives like a small window of opportunity for that. But for now, I'm only doing that for Protoss, I think. So. And that's just because they have like innate characteristics associated with that.
Okay.
They also don't
I will
care.
make autocrats the last ones, I think, because the other ones should be easy now, and now all I
Yeah,
have
sure.
to say Antiquatan is we break, and we say corpse search sort by distance. Okay, and now globals. I quit globals actually. And here's where I would have the ion field, and I would just say break. And I would also say, so I would sort it. Sort by distance, corpses, effect position. And now what this needs to do is need to destroy the field immediately.
Yeah, so my idea was that basically each salvo from the Aeon would be capable of reclaiming 4 per salvo, right? And it attacks fairly quickly, so that's going to be very powerful if you can get the positioning done properly. But obviously that's
yeah. I when I read that yesterday, I thought it's neat that it consumes, so that it makes a lot of sense that it does. It's also more readable and
yeah.
You know.
It just never. It wasn't really ever fully fledged out. You know, like that's
sure.
the main concern that we had. So yeah, it's good to get that one taken care of.
It is time.
Do you have like a sprite limit command?
What do you mean? To determine how many limit
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's sprite count. Yeah. You'd have to.
I don't know if effect fields clear correctly. I don't know if their sprites get removed. And if that could be the reason we have no sprites, honestly. Right? It would make sense.
We're not having the crashes occur in the late game, so.
Yeah, I know. It's just every effect field would forever occupy a sprite slot. So it would very quickly reach the limit.
Is there something that's not safe about reaching the limit, though? Like, do we have some?
Yeah,
case
if we
where it's
don't,
not?
if we reach the limit, that means there can be more sprites.
Right, but don't we just not create the unit then? Like that wouldn't be really.
Well,
The
we
unit
have those
constructors
checks in some places, but most of the time we assume the sprite is there, so there's definitely some code that doesn't check. Well, at least there seems to be.
I think it was reclaiming more than one. But...
Let it surround you to flatten the circle.
Oh, the unit had no sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see how the effect fields
I
would.
bet this is it. Yeah, it doesn't have the flag. Remove after death.
But I'm confused as to how you would have hit the sprite limit so quickly.
Yeah, probably not related to limit then, but if... Like, this just smells wrong that it wasn't here, and I spawned few fields, and suddenly a unit didn't have a sprite, so it seems very related.
Oh, that was happening to anything that had line damage when I was fighting Zethricor's. So.
Right? It's
Yeah.
weird.
That's what the Southpaw crash was. And I think it was also what Shambler's crash was. Although I can't remember what weapon that was.
It continues. It is known as to flatten the circle. It is time. What more do you fear? Let it surround you. It is time. Flatten the circle. It is time. It is
Yeah, so
known
something like this feels like it could have too much
It
power,
is time.
but
to flatten the circle.
honestly, it's a very slow unit.
What more
And
do you
if it
fear?
needs to get dropped
Every
into
law broken to flatten the circle.
something, then I
As
can do that later.
predicted,
No, maybe it just needs
let
a
it
bigger
surround
cooldown.
you.
Yeah.
They use
Every
it
law
attacks 4 times. I don't know. Needed
And also-
behavior though.
Yeah.
So this is done. So now the only... Oh, I should test if anti-cat work correctly. I think it correctly consumed one field per corpse, but you said it wasn't.
unmade.
No, what I said was it looked like your Aeon field reviving one, but
Conceal. Unmade.
So
Looks
weird
like
they
it's
have
like opposite.
collision.
Another
Haven't played with them since they were changed.
hold
Yeah.
the mirror.
What is the range for the decay
Unmade.
exactly?
It's 8 right now. Almost 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every shape alive. Every shape alive.
I need to be RB, but do you think that's correct or no? I just used the Mind Tyrant range.
No, I told you it's based on vision range in the Reddit.
Revolution. Another
Oh, that sucks because I can't get the vision range when I'm like it's not performant to do that. Anyways, we'll talk about it in a sec.
Okay. going on, Dexstar? Okay, that's promising. So I guess I can just slap that on here real quick. Don't tell anybody, but I'm currently working on some graphics. It's a secret, though.
Okay, I thought about it some more, and I think I can make it in performance. So.
Oh, okay. That was easy. Welcome back.
Hi. I guess it's from. I don't actually know if it's. It might be faster than the previous one or slower, depending on what it is. Technically, I think it means generally less searches, but it also means more Unity XT accesses. But it should be fine, I think. Let's say unit equals unit.
This,
That's a
dude,
fucking
this
sentence.
is quite the mod. Since we're implementing, re-implementing our reanimation. Bet you've never seen that in a StarCraft project before, unless you looked
Yeah,
at previous
Dexter,
versions of
I'm
this.
pretty sure he's a regular viewer of the Kairos Dev stuff, so. But yeah, this is the mod that I was mentioning. Some neat stuff. So now timers. Timer DK save equals 3.
3? Isn't it funny that we do 3 for performance? Isn't that silly? Oh, right. Now I have to do this a completely different way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, since it's free, we can just say this. If we are DK safe, then do this, and if we are M, then do this. Is Reclaimer the official name for the?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think that's it. The only thing left is the only thing left is autocron. I'm pretty sure autocron.
Hell yeah. Alright, meanwhile, that should be good. Actually, is there any data here? No, okay, so it's that. Okay. I feel like that'll be good, but you never know until you see it in the game. I really should go back and revisit the Olympian since its animations are whack.
You.
You.
Their own worst enemy.
But every unit's dying. That's
Yeah,
great.
if there's not a reclaimer anywhere on the map, then you just lose instantly.
Easy.
Yeah.
There should be its own RTS subgenre. It's like, you know, if Warcraft 3 succeeded, this could also succeed.
Yeah, that might be the $1 million idea we need. I guess now I can add this description here. So I have to actually formalize the description of a bunch of this stuff too. Do I have this open? Yeah, I do actually. Okay. Controlled opposition. All right. And then Lazarus. Oh, this
I
is
can't believe that I imported when I was really bad. I imported an entire YAML library just to handle the config file.
okay. So, all right. Let's think about this. We have description. If I scroll up.
Okay, so now I just say um
Don't blink.
Direct unit.
My rules. By my will.
Autocrats desperately need new fights.
To their knees. They won't last. To their knees.
No, Autocrat's not flying this. Reclaimer. Or maybe they are. What?
Does get sight range also get modified sight range? I actually don't remember.
Seems like it gets the current sight range, yeah.
Okay.
I probably have to use a lot of methods in my new job.
Steady.
See how that goes.
Dumb. But manageable.
Render unto me. They won't last.
Did this finish? Oh, yeah.
Maybe side range is not in
It's
pixels.
probably times 32, yeah. That's probably what you have to do.
Yeah.
Or I
Stupid.
guess time, yeah, that should be times 32.
That's actually a buff. Compared to what it used to what I set it to.
Yeah, well, I haven't rebalanced the sight ranges yet, but
Right.
that's like an intentional thing.
My rules.
Yeah, I feel it's fine if that range is permissive. Otherwise, it would be you'd have to like micromanage it too much probably.
My rules. King for today.
Okay, where's HP?
Render unto me. Render unto me.
Comlink online. Confirmed.
Yeah, it doesn't seem accurate. I don't know why. Maybe the seal HP is just inaccurate. Not sure.
Yeah, why would that be a problem, I wonder? Well, you changed it to targets. I don't know if it was correct before.
Yeah, it used to be units, but that's not related, I don't think. They are DK save, it just seems like maybe they take a tick of damage or something. I don't know. DK. Satan. Or maybe there's just misprecision in this function, not sure.
Deathless. Endless. Orders. Yes. The march continues. deathless, endless.
Standing by.
Bring them to me. Death is no excuse. Deathless, endless.
Checked up and good to go.
Yeah, it does decay for a moment. I'm not sure why.
It's like the tick or something needs to be.
And it's weird
probably just a
because in
single tick or
API, when I reclaim the corpse, I also set it to free ticks. Hmm. So weird. And that's it. It deals damage because it's invincible.
what the hell?
Yeah, so it wouldn't be found. I use this automatic filter, which is kind of shitty sometimes. It was all the filter flags are similar to what iQuery originally did in Cosmonarchy search or Hydra search. So now invisible units weren't tagged as safe, decay safe, so they took damage, which is insane because they're meant to be invincible. But inflict damage just bypasses that anyways.
Pranked.
Also, I thought I was the only thing.
Yes,
Yeah, it seems like so.
endless.
Okay. Yeah, I think that means reclamation is done.
That's pretty cool.
So what is the idea with the brute spawn lifesteal?
Just that it would make the Oh my fucking god! What a shitty program. Who programmed this piece of shit? And I'm not even talking about Visual Studio.
Yeah, it's just Git or Photoshop or any program really.
It could be so many things. What was the question you actually asked me? Oh, the Brid spawn. If they have 100% lifesteal, then they can stay alive longer, right? Is the idea.
So that's basically the same thing that Ultracore has, I think, right? The same kind of
That's
passive.
50%. Ultra Core is 50.
Right? Right. I thought it was increased.
No, it should be 50. Maybe I made it 100% recently.
Yeah, I think we also did that to Amaranth, but maybe. Oh, do I have?
It says 50 on the website. I have the game right here, though. Oh yeah, it is 100%. It's 1 point for every damage dealt. So yeah, basically they'll have the same idea.
Okay. That made me think they would be needed if they just had constant decay, because then the life steal would be a mean of staying alive. But I think this time life thing is probably cleaner. So.
Well, the reason why they don't decay is because otherwise it obviously overlaps with reclamation, right? So.
Yeah, true.
And if they decay, the kind of counteracts the whole idea. I mean, like 5 seconds of timed life is already a mechanic for. I mean, that's not 5 seconds; it's much longer. But timed life is already a mechanic for brood spawn. So I was building off of the existing stuff.
Right.
It's just making it a lot more impactful.
So I haven't yet internalized how this works in entirety, but do you still like have, so is really Rocker and really Lisk now specific to a unit? Like, isn't it, is it now not?
So I was originally
Contextual.
thinking we only have the Rillisk from the Tech Care Core, but the Convolisk is also listed as, like, because it attacks ground and air, it would make a conditional one. However, I'm actually thinking of making the Convolisk only attack ground units, and then giving it, you know, some more like range or something, some more power somewhere. Obviously, it would be like a Convitalor or something at that point if I gave it a lot of range. But the point I would be doing there is to make it so that it only spawns really Rokors. That would make it so that like the Vilgalith change was also supposed to be Rilla Rokor only, and then the Tekkarikor would be Rilla Lisk. So Rilla Lisk would basically become a tier 3 unit, at which point we could also balance them a little bit more impactfully.
That makes
If
sense.
we were to go down that
It really felt like a stronger unit, so it being non-contextual and actually a power expression makes it more.
Yeah. I mean, like
sensible.
in a sense, you know, rewarding the player for destroying air units, which are like they already get rewarded naturally because air units of the same tier are usually more expensive, and certainly have like more cachet because they can theoretically, you know, do a lot more around the map or whatever. But yeah, I don't think making it contextual is super good. So
yeah. I remember.
I also want to adjust infestation at some point, but that'll be for a later revision.
I saw some like big write-up from Faguta, I think.
Yeah, that was the first thing that he proposed in the considering future changes thread. Since then, he's also talked about the pylon, the scribe transforming into pylon, which is obviously reminds me of Fallen from Armies of Exego. But I think it's just like obviously it's very different because they were supply and creep, which is like a weird combo. But and they had like a dedicated harvester unit.
Yeah, I feel like a Kistrokor not having this breakpoint would be neat, and then infestation.
Yeah, removing all the
probably...
whole 50% thing, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then having, I guess I don't know. Do we want interracial control or no? Did we decide we don't want it? I think we didn't, right? Like you can't mind control an enemy worker and make a race out of that.
Well, you can. You just have to keep the like the master nearby all of your new units. So you have this like permanent thing that's making it clunkier. Which maybe isn't the most elegant solution you could argue, but the whole point is like for you to use them in the short term, and you can do this really long and arduous thing where you like project power over them. In fact, you know, if we still had like a tier 4 idea or whatever, like something I was thinking about is that the Empress doesn't really fit in robotic per se. It's obviously a profane unit, but I would actually think that when we revise Protoss production and we consolidate a lot of stuff, like the Monument of Sin can actually stick around with Star Sovereign, Anthelion, and Empress, and then you'll have like one unit per branch that can do the master stuff. But we would also maybe have the Demiurge be a tier 3 unit at that point instead of a tier 4 conceptually, and then have a tier 4 robotic unit that, like, you know, if masterdom is based on what would you say? If it's based on vision range of the master, which I think it's supposed to be right now, or it is right now. Maybe it's not internally, but I remember thinking that would make sense. If that's the case, then you could easily have like a master unit at tier 4 that has like 20 vision range or something absurd. I mean, that's a lot actually, so maybe not. But like one of the ideas I was playing around with in my head was here's a unit that actually can allow you to project like control over dominated units for like from afar, from a long distance, right? So that would be an expression of the power of the.
I guess it could be like a unit that it's like a big aura thing that like not only maintains the control but also buffs them, and it would be like a support unit for specifically masters. or rather control units, right?
Yeah. You could
Could
think
be a
about
thing.
that. I mean, that's also with the faction system that I'm building. You could easily find real estate for something like that for.
Oh yeah, you
I don't
were
know if
also
it-
telling me about the faction menu on the sign and
Oh yeah. So what I was really hoping, maybe this could be underneath the table of contents. Maybe it could be off to the side on the right or whatever. But there'd basically be like a drop down menu, or maybe just like a list of things you can click from, like a radial menu. You know what those are, where they're like the circles that you click. And so you would like basically click on which one you wanted to see, and the default would be, I already came through and said the Zerg default is the Ataltrith tendril, and the Protoss default is the Divine Primacy, and the Terran default is the Orion Imperium. And with those contexts out there, then the other factions come in, and you have like the upstart faction for Terrans, which is like Southpaw Wendigo, and then the
yeah, I
the
imagine like if
all
you
the other
look
ones.
here, there would be like tabs that you click, and they all have like an icon or something, and you just select which one you want.
Yeah, I don't know if the tab thing is the most sensible, because most of the units are the same, right? So like my thinking was you would just dynamically like, I don't know if it would be slow to rebuild the table each time or whatever, but like
Yeah, not possible because we
Yeah.
use PHP.
Right. So
I guess we would have to maybe redirect to a different URL, maybe. Not sure. It's all pretty annoying.
yeah, if it has to be tabs, then I guess you just wouldn't want to actually load them until they're clicked, because most people are probably not going to care about the factions, right? But
Yeah.
so you would only load the main one.
It's a
But
minor detail, but it annoys me that we have .php in the link.
I also think that's annoying, but mostly because if you don't include it, you actually don't get to the web. I don't think it redirects, right? Or does it?
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, think I gotta go for now. Are we playing in an hour? What is it?
Yeah, ideally we'd play pretty soon. So your changes theoretically fixed Reclamation up, but we also are temporarily just deleting the corpse.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
really
just
sure how easy
for
it would be.
not making it very clunky to use. Although I don't know, would be nice to have the recoloring as the cleanest solution.
Yeah, it's the thing that doesn't require me to
It doesn't involve cactus.
yeah. Well, it doesn't involve me redoing every single graphic. Like basically darkening every single graphic other than their first frame. Although then like I don't even know if it's super easy to play the next frame of the graphic, honestly. Like it probably isn't very clean to do that. I guess what we would actually do is we would need to go through every corpse iScript, add a new animation that is the non first frame, and then set it to that forcibly. But like it's just ugly, right? So ideally being able to recolor it would be best.
Be the best. But I think the more important thing is to implement brute spawn and curse consumption for, or rather, avenging for.
Yeah, Vengeful
Vengeance.
Ascension.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because the Ascension is for the enemies and Vengeance is for your allies. So there's the duality there.
Alright.
I don't know if you've really looked it over, but
Yeah, I remember thinking that maybe it would make more sense if the buffs were swapped, but I don't know. It's probably fine as it is.
well, I don't know. Right as it stands, it might end up feeling like a win more thing, to be honest. But the increased movement speed is like, I thought of. I didn't balance all of this around; it just fell into place. But like the vassal avenging, the vassal vengeance stuff works because it's like, oh, this is already kind of what it does, except the vassal does both. So I was thinking, do I just keep that as an exception, or do I pick like the most impactful stat? And movement speed is way more impactful for early tier Protoss because they have so many units with short range or melee range, and that's obviously going to be a really big deal. So when you have like Ecclesiasts, which already synergize really well with Zealots, when they avenge their own corpse 1 second after death, then that gives you this like effect where you can sort of do that. The other thing that this opens up, which I actually think is really cool and thematic for Protoss, and something that I plan to emphasize with the Githrovan in Zabalba, is the martyrdom aspect of this, where you would deliberately choose to execute your own unit to get a
Mm.
buff.
Yeah.
That's something that you kind of already play around with vassals in the current setup, where you're like deliberately trying to get them to die, and obviously like they're fairly poppable. So I would not be surprised if we saw like high level play in CMBW. Like people would already have developed this understanding of like, let me pop my own vassal so that I can get in there faster. But now it's a little bit more like, okay, well, it only gives me movement speed, not attack speed. So, and there's a 1 second timer, so I have to kind of plan around that a little bit more. But I still like the idea that you might deliberately try to do that. You know, it would be fairly niche. You would obviously want it to only be the case if like your ecclesiast was no longer very useful and also low HP, so it was going to die anyway or something. You know,
Right.
but you could imagine doing that, and that kind of martyrdom being like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
that would definitely fit in for like as a thematic.
Well,
But
in particular, because obviously the inner lore of the Protoss is that they're like they have this like teleportation to go homo after they die, and that's like for the zealot and the Cantavis and the ecclesiast and legionnaire and stuff.
yeah.
So like technically they're not really dying; they're just like losing limb as opposed to life. Like there's the whole saying of life and limb. They're losing like they'll return in a suit of some kind, right? Like now it kind of makes sense to think of the Hierophant as a like originally it was a Cantavis in a shell. Now it makes a little bit more sense if the Strider is being piloted by the remains of an ecclesiast because we have that unit now and it's like filling the same purpose, right? So So anyway, I guess that's that. But I'm looking forward to some of the ways that we implement that, and it'll be a good time, almost certainly.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Now that looks stupid in the manifesto, but I did it anyway. I hope you appreciate that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, cool. I don't know. I'm kind of overthinking those buffs, but I'm curious how they will look like.
What, the 25% move speed and 25% attack
Yeah,
speed?
it's I don't know. It's interesting because obviously you don't. First of all, you don't consume. You like the hostile and allied consumption is not equal because they are triggered by different behaviors. It's not like anything can
Yes.
do that. Although Star Sovereign, I think, can and also
Star Sovereign does everything. Mind Tyrant, Maelstrom does everything.
yeah, right. But it's
There's probably
probably
going to be a few others.
I actually struggle to. I'm not sure which one is more powerful, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I think movement speed is really good for depending on your composition, which is the beauty of it. Like movement speed might be more powerful, or attack speed might be more powerful. It depends on the situation, how you take the engagement, and your composition and your opponent's composition, right? Like
Yeah.
if your enemy doesn't have a lot of durability on their units anyway, then maybe you don't really care that much about attack speed. You just need to get in a position to actually punish them. So that could be another thing. Like your enemy's composition plays
Yeah,
a part
right.
of it.
It
So
gives
I
you,
do like
it allows you to reposition quicker. It can be additional damage dealt. It can be additional damage avoided. It's very versatile, and attack speed just like increases your DPS, which is also very powerful. It's less contextual, I guess, though. Although if your unit can't hit the target, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting duality, which is thematic, I guess. Okay, well, I gotta go, but nice to have reclamation done.
Certainly, I will grab it on my side and get it, get all the strings ready, update the website, etc., and then get that pushed to pre-release.
Yeah.
And I guess in theory, I mean, like the only concern I have now is for the Zerg like brood spawn stuff, I mean, I guess it's just not implemented yet. So maybe we should hold off on pushing to release until that's done. But I also don't know when you'd be able to do stuff like that. So at the same time, maybe based on what you did here, I might be able to
I'll
implement it
probably do it
myself. So.
tomorrow, I guess. I don't know if I'll have time to do both that and Antikythera though. We'll see. Would want to have those finished though, so.
All right.
Maybe
Looking
not
forward to
Vilgoricore that's involved, but outside
the
of that.
Vilgalith is involved. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can just set up the unit at the very least, and we can look into.
I feel like outside of that unit, the res is fairly doable. Like, probably in one session. So. Yeah. Well, we'll do that tomorrow, I think. And yeah, I'll see you later.
See you later.